Hi, my name is Pat from Laidback Languages. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, welcome. My name is Pat. I help people to learn languages the proper way. No gimmicks, no courses, no studying grammar. Just real methods that work for normal people who have got busy lives, who don't have time to study for hours and hours a day. I share all my tips and tricks on how I've managed to learn 5 foreign languages in the past 11 years. Welcome, please subscribe. If you're not new here, welcome back. Always a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for supporting me. In this video, I'm going to be giving you my 3 most powerful techniques to learn any word. Vocabulary is a super important part of a language learner's task. If they are to learn a language, they have to learn a lot of words. And this can be very intimidating. It can be something that actually puts people off because they think about the language they want to learn and they realize, oh my God, that's a lot of information. Just the words themselves, without counting the grammar or the actual speaking of it or the intonation or pronunciation or any of that. Just the actual words, it's a huge load of information and it can be quite scary and intimidating. However, in this video, I'm going to teach you 3 techniques which will make it a lot easier to learn the vocabulary. Let's get into it. So, for this example, we're going to be using a Spanish word for book, which is libro. El libro, the book. Technique number 1 on how to learn vocabulary is repetition in context. This technique is very common and is essential if you're going to be a successful language learner. You need to learn how to learn in context, how to get a word and put it in a sentence. So let's look at our word, our target words, which is libro, which means book. So I would make a couple of example sentences. Nice and simple, as if you're learning the word libro, chances are you're a beginner, so you won't have many other words or verbs to go around it. So keep the sentences nice and simple. I would say something like, me gusta el libro. I like the book. Me gusta el libro. And I wouldn't just write a little sentence like that and have it as a boring old me gusta el libro. I would imagine myself actually speaking with a Spanish person. Maybe not speaking in Spanish, maybe even speaking in English. And we're in a bookshop and they've picked up a book and it's my favorite book. And I say, me gusta el libro. Me gusta ese libro. Yeah? You've got to imagine yourself in the scenario. That's a very, very important thing to remember. Don't just write a boring old sentence. Bring it to life. Put yourself in the scenario. Me gusta el libro. The second technique I like to use when learning vocabulary, which makes it really, really easy to remember, is to take the word and look at its etymology. Etymology means the origin of the word. What is the makeup of the word? Where does it come from? So, libro. What word does that sound like in English? What words is it similar to? Lib. Library, maybe? There's a link there, isn't there? Where books are, in the library. Yeah? Libro. Librarian. Libro. Sometimes if you can work out the etymology of the word, it makes it a lot easier to remember. Library, libro. Easy. And my third and final technique on learning vocabulary, and this is probably my favorite, it's my go-to one when I've got a big list of words that I want to learn, is this following technique. I call it the story technique, the story with emotion technique. So, it's split up into 3 parts. Part number 1, take the word and listen to the sound. What does the word sound like? Don't worry about the meaning, just the sound. Libro. Okay, well to me, I'm hearing libro. Yeah, like Lee, guy called Lee. Bro, like brother. That's already in my long-term memory. The words li and bro are already in my long-term memory. So the word libro is actually there. We just need to tweak it a little bit, tweak the meaning, tweak the association of libro to make it associated with book. So part number 2 is the story. Libro. How are you going to connect libro to a book? Libro. Well, what I would imagine is I'm with my friend, Lee. We're both sat down and he's got my book. He's got my favourite book. I really wanted to read that book. It's my book and I wanted to read it. And he's hogging it. He's not sharing it with me. I'm there reading some boring book about Barbies, and I don't want to read that book about Barbies. I want that book. Yeah? Libro. Hey, give me my book, Lee. Lee, bro, give me my book. What I've done there is put part number 3 in there as well. You need to have an emotion. It needs to mean something to you. If there's no emotion in the story, then when you go to speak Spanish later on and you're thinking, how do I say book? You won't recall the word. But if there's an emotion in there, say you're feeling angry at Lee because he's got your book, yeah, libro, your brain will automatically make the connection. And when you're saying, how do I say book in Spanish? For some reason, you'll be thinking about Lee and you'll go, libro, yeah? The memory actually comes from the emotion, okay? The emotion then triggers the memory, or the false memory you've implanted of Lee, and the words libro will be in that. It's a very, very powerful technique. And trust me, the more you do it, the better you will get at it. The more you practice this technique, the more words you'll be able to learn, the more associations you'll have. And that's the beautiful thing with language learning. The more you do, the easier it gets. Okay? The more you learn, the easier it gets, because the more associations your brain has to connect with other things. Myself now, speaking 6 languages, if I were to learn another language, it would just be a lot easier for me than when I started off learning my first foreign language, which was French, because I only had English to go off of. Now I've got 5 and thousands upon thousands of associations for the brain. So the more you do this technique, the easier it gets to learn vocabulary. The more vocab you learn, it kind of snowballs. So those are my 3 top techniques to learn words. It makes language learning easy, guys, and language learning is easy. You've just got to get past your own negative beliefs that have been with you probably since you were at school. It's time to get past them. It's time to integrate. It's time to love them, and it's time to learn a foreign language. Thank you for watching this video. If you haven't liked and subscribed already, please do, because it helps my channel grow. I would love to get this message out to more people, so thank you so much for liking, subscribing and sharing the video. It is a crime more people do not speak at least one foreign language, because it's so easy to do and so much goddamn fun as well. So until next time, thank you for watching. Ciao.